An oil storage depot in Russia has been struck by an apparent Ukrainian drone attack.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has told the United States he opposes the establishment of a Palestinian state. NATO announced on Thursday a new military exercise intended to deter Russia from attacking a member state, set to be the largest since the Cold War.
The German government has blasted the country's main far-right party over an extremist meeting held to discuss immigration.
A severe drought, most likely caused by climate change in the Panama Canal, has reduced ship crossings by just over a third.
One of Bologna's symbolic towers is to be restored thanks to fundraising by members of the public.
An oil storage depot in western Russia has been extensively damaged in an apparent Ukraine drone attack. At least 4 reservoirs were hit in the facility near the city of Klinsky, some 60 kilometers from the border with Ukraine. Security sources in Kyiv were quoted as acknowledging it was a Ukrainian attack. Ukraine has recently stepped up cross-border drone strikes in response to intensified attacks by Moscow's forces on civilian infrastructure targets and homes on its soil. Russian shelling and artillery fire has killed several people in communities across eastern Ukraine. As during last winter, Russia has shifted its focus from frontline assaults to strikes on residential areas and the country's electricity network.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has told the United States he opposes the establishment of a Palestinian state, even once the conflict in Gaza comes to an end. Many are urging the revival of the long-dormant two-state solution, but Netanyahu remains defiant, vowing to press on in Gaza until complete victory.
בכל הסדר בעתיד הנראה לעין, עם הסדר, בלי הסדר, מדינת ישראל חייבת לשלוט ביטחונית על כל השטח מערבית לירדן. זה תנאי הכרחי, וזה מתנגש עם רעיון הריבונות, מה לעשות? את האמת הזאת אני אומר לידידינו האמריקנים, ואני גם בלמתי את הניסיון לכפות עלינו מציאות שתפגע בביטחון ישראל.
Meanwhile, Kafir Bibas, the youngest Israeli held in captivity in Gaza, celebrated his first birthday in captivity. Kafir, his brother, and his parents were captured during the 7th of October attack by Hamas. In Tel Aviv, hundreds of people gathered in orange, the same color of Kafir's hair, to celebrate on his behalf. There was no word Thursday as to whether medicines that entered Gaza in a deal brokered by France and Qatar had been distributed to Hamas hostages or Palestinian civilians. The agreement was the first to be brokered between Israel and Hamas since November. NATO announced on Thursday a new military exercise set to be the largest since the Cold War. Steadfast Defender 2024 will start next week and run through until May. The unprecedented exercise will feature more than 90,000 troops from all 31 alliance countries plus Sweden.
The big difference with a year ago, I would say, Terry, is that there's a lot of things that have happened in the armed forces and in the defense organizations. What hasn't happened is in our societies the understanding that it is more than the military that has to be able to operate in a conflict or in a war. It is the whole of society that will get involved whether we like it or not. I'm not saying it is going wrong tomorrow, but we have to realize it's not a given that we are in peace. And that's why we have the plans.
The simulated conflict is intended to deter Russia from targeting a NATO member state, though the Kremlin denies having any such intention. One practical goal of the drills is to work on fast troops deployment from North America to Europe. A NATO general said the exercise will be a clear demonstration of our unity, strength, and resolve to protect each other.
Germany's governing coalition has accused the far right of advocating Nazi ideals. This after local newspaper Correctiv reported that members of the Identity Movement and Alternative for Germany party attended a meeting last November to discuss the deportation of millions of immigrants, including German citizens.
Sie sind ein Wolf im Schafspelz, aber ich sage Ihnen, Ihre Fassade beginnt zu bröckeln. Das wahre Gesicht der AfD kommt für alle sichtbar zum Vorschein und wir werden deutlich machen, was das für eine Ideologie ist, die Sie verfolgen.
German Interior Minister Nancy Faeser told journalists that there was a, quote, clear attempt to define ethnically who belongs in Germany, meaning the deliberate pursuit of Nazi ideologies. AfD has denied any involvement in the meeting.
A severe drought, most likely caused by climate change in the Panama Canal, has reduced ship crossings by just over a third. The economic forecasts are bad. Authorities in charge of the South American Canal estimate the drop in water levels could cost between 460 and 644 million euros.
Pero sí quisiera, este tema de sequía es un tema global. Lo tiene el río Mississippi, el Rin, Amazonas, Yangtze. Prácticamente todas las rutas pluviales del mundo están siendo afectadas. Y por supuesto, y lo hemos dicho desde hace varios años, el Canal de Panamá tiene una desventaja fundamental que es la única ruta marítima global del mundo que opera con agua dulce.
The same lakes that fill the canal also provide water for more than 50% of the country of more than 4 million people.
North Korea says it has tested a nuclear sea drone in response to recent joint US, South Korean and Japanese naval drills. Pyongyang claims the underwater device is capable of destroying entire fleets or ports. The purported drone is among a broad range of weapon systems touted by leader Kim Jong-un in recent years as he seeks to expand his arsenal of nuclear-capable arms. Amid soaring tensions in the region, the North has adopted a new doctrine that authorises the military to carry out nuclear strikes on enemies, threatening the country's leadership.
After several films on Gaza and the refugees in Calais, documentary filmmaker Stéphane Marchetti turns to fiction.
I tried to cross by the mountain, but police was there.
In La Tête Froide, or The Cold Heart, he tells the story of two lonely people, a French woman who smuggles cigarettes into Italy and a young African man who wants to reach England.
On ne sait pas bien comment faut dire, migrants, exilés, déplacés, et surtout c'est toujours, bien souvent dans les médias, c'est une espèce de masse assez comme ça, un petit peu anonyme, invisible. Donc voilà, effectivement la fiction permet de raconter une histoire singulière d'une personne qui a un nom, qui a une identité, qui a des rêves, des espoirs, des doutes, une complexité, une ambiguïté comme on peut l'avoir chez plein de gens.
On the road.
The film successfully navigates between breathless thriller and realistic situations. Shot entirely on location, the picture really brings its characters to life.
I need you. Nous, comme on l'a travaillé avec Stéphane, on voulait quelque chose pour Suleiman, qu'on soit pas dans le fantasme qu'on peut se faire d'un réfugié en fait. Donc on a vraiment travaillé pour que ce personnage-là puisse avoir sa dignité, son parcours, son histoire, et ça c'était vraiment important.
Ce qui m'a beaucoup intéressé, c'est qu'il venait du documentaire. Il a donné à voir des visages, des histoires derrière des chiffres. C'est que justement le film il travaille ces zones grises là, quoi. C'est pas la gentille française qui recueille les gentils migrants. Non, c'est beaucoup plus complexe que ça.
A different take on migration that depicts it for what it is. A fight for a better future. The film has just been released in France.
I can make the police disappear.
The two towers are the historical memory of the city of Bologna, also called the Durita, because in medieval times it was crowned by around 100 towers. They are symbols of prestige of the richest and most influential families. The highest tower measures 97 meters, but it is the lowest one of 47 meters, which worries the people of Bologna. It has 4 degrees of slope, even more than the Tower of Pisa.
Le due torri sono il simbolo della nostra città, sono ricordate da Dante nella Divina Commedia come la torre pendente, la Garisenda, sono un simbolo di identità del centro storico medievale più esteso d'Europa. Queste torri e questi portici rappresentano il paesaggio bolognese, per noi è impensabile perderle e per questo ce ne dobbiamo prendere cura.
The Garisenda Tower has been leaning since its birth more than 900 years ago, due to the subsidence of the land and the foundations during construction.
Storicamente la torre registra una pendenza verso il lato est, che è sempre più accentuata, ma comunque è sempre nella stessa direzione. In questa primavera, nel mese di maggio, attraverso uno dei sensori che sono stati posti nei 4 spigoli della torre, è stato rilevato un cedimento nuovo, mai registrato prima, in direzione sud-ovest.
The new subsidence required the start of safety works which will last approximately 2 years and will then be followed by the actual restoration work.
I lavori per la messa in sicurezza della torre della Garisenda sono iniziati anche grazie al contributo di abitanti e cittadini che hanno così voluto dimostrare il loro affetto per il simbolo principale della città di Bologna.
Una grande mobilitazione per la raccolta fondi, quasi 4 milioni di euro raccolti, donazioni dalle imprese del territorio, dai cittadini direttamente. C'è un sito sosteniamoleduetorri.it e grazie a queste risorse potremo fare sia la manutenzione che il restauro.
Hopefully the Garisenda Tower will remain stable for a long time, although it will continue to lean.